Hey everyone, welcome back to my podcast. I hope that everybody is doing well and are staying safe. Just please make sure that you do that. What I'm going to bring to you today is something that came across my mind. Um, it was actually when I was 12 years old and I went to see my father for the first time. He had never been around and I didn't even know his name until my mother told me. Well, I just never really cared much about meeting him anyway. My mother mentioned to me that he had wanted to meet me now and spend some time with me. He told my mother, if you pay for her ticket here, then I'll pay for her return ticket. So I told her, yes, I'll meet him as long as my foster sister could come. And me and her were best friends, and we still are. And we were inseparable when we were younger. If you saw me, you saw her. If you saw her, you saw me. But anyway, let's get back to it. So we got all of our stuff packed, and I had never rode in a bus before. So this was the first time for me. It was about an 8-hour bus ride, I would say. I was worried what he was like and if he would like me. I had wanted to know why he had left and didn't try to see me or spend time with him. So we get to the bus station and we start looking around for someone that may have been my father. We had no picture or anything, so we're just looking around, and I guess he had a picture of me, so he knew it was me. He seemed happy to see me, and I introduced him to my sister. And me and her were just smiling. Both of us were very happy that we were there and get to spend time with him and also get to know him and get to know the other side of my family. So we left the bus station and went to his house. When we got out and went inside with our things, my grandparents were there. And I had never met them or even knew anything about them. And they were excited and waiting on us. They hugged us and said they were so happy to finally meet me. And I felt really good at that time. I felt like all was well and I had nothing to worry about because I'd never been out alone like that without my mother. They showed us this small room that we would sleep in. I just remember it being little. I don't know why. We put our things in the room and we were like really, really tired. It was a long trip for us, and it felt like it anyway. But he wouldn't let us go lay down. He wanted to take us out, meet his friends, meet some family. So we got into a car with him, and a man, I had no idea who he was, but he was the driver, I guess, my dad's friend. And this is when everything went downhill. My father had asked us if we wanted to meet his women. And I was like, huh? And then he said it again, and the driver guy was laughing. I guess he thought that was hilarious. And we just shook our heads like, yeah. And it was getting dark. And we were in a strange place, and we just wanted to go back to his house and sleep, eat, shower. Well, he pulled up to where there's some women that were dressed like hookers. At the time, we didn't know that's what they were until after this. When the woman saw us in the back seat, they asked him, who are these bitches? And what are they doing in the car? And he asked them to calm down. We're his daughters. But they were like glaring at us. Like they wanted to beat us up. We were 12 years old, dude. What could we possibly be doing in the back seat of a car? And they kind of scared us. We were terrified. We had never dealt with a situation like this at all. And he asked them, the girls, where his money was. And they gave it to him. And he told them to get back to work. Yeah, wow. Then we pulled away with them staring at us, glaring at us. And he made a few more stops, doing the same thing. And we just sat waiting in the car. And finally, he took us to the house. We were so tired. We just wanted to rest, eat, shower, and go to sleep. Well, we didn't get to bathe, eat, or anything. So we went to sleep. He basically told us to wait another day. The next day was even worse than the first day. My grandmother said, "Come eat something." And we wanted to bathe after we ate. And, she said, okay. Um, I was trying to get to know her too. We didn't get much time to spend with her either because he was always yanking us to somebody's house or out in the street with him. So we were waiting for our food, and he comes from somewhere. I still have no idea where the heck he came from. And he said, well, my grandmother told him they're eating. He was ready to go. And my grandmother told him, no, they were eating. They need a shower and they want to rest a bit. And he said, she's my daughter and I'll do what I like with her. My sister and I were so hungry. We haven't eaten in, over a day. So he kind of snatched me out of the chair and guided me and my sister out the door. We were in the car with this strange man again, same one from the day before, and I just wanted to be at home. I just wanted to go back home with my mother. It wasn't working out like I had thought that it would. And I also wondered why he would let us be hungry and not let us shower, clean ourselves, and not, let us rest. But I still don't know to this day. So he took us next to meet his sisters, who are my aunts. I thought, well, maybe this will be good. She had kids, he said. So we got out of the car and went to her little apartment. She greeted us and hugged us. We were happy to meet her. Maybe she would save us and feed us and let us shower. My father told her he'd be back later to get us, and he just left us there. And there we were, just with people we didn't even know. And, so we didn't know what to say to them or anything like that. And then we talked to my aunt for a little bit. Like, she was telling what her day was like and stuff like that, and telling me which kids were her kids. They were out playing with their friends. And then she said, well, I got to get dressed. I'm leaving, going out. And she said I would be fine there because her kids are there too. And they're my age. And we just said, okay. So we just sat there doing absolutely nothing. The kids didn't play with us. They were out there with their friends. She didn't even come back. She was still gone when my father came and got us. And, he was like, well, where is she? he got out the car and he was arguing with them. He screamed at him that they better have his money when he comes back around. Man, this visit was a very bad idea. And I don't know why. I wanted so badly to meet him and spend a week with him. He wouldn't let me call my mom, anything. My mom kept calling my grandmother saying they need to send me home before she calls the police. Not sure exactly when we actually got on the bus. My grandfather had taken us to the bus station. He waited till my father wasn't around and that he had left in a car, and he snatched us up, told us to get our stuff real fast, shoved everything into the suitcase, and he rushed out and rushed it to the bus station. He said goodbye. He said goodbye to us, and we just waved. We were just so happy to be heading home. And my mother is the one that had to buy the ticket, of course. But we slept most of the way home. When we arrived, I saw my mom waiting for us. We were so glad to see her. And she hugged both of us, and we got in the car. And she didn't say anything. We rode in silence like the whole way. And she said she had food ready, and we can get cleaned up and eat. I remember feeling so sad. That's just something crazy to go through at any age, but especially when you're defenseless and there's not much you can do, other than following the adults, But yeah, I just didn't understand. You just don't treat people that way. Well, after we took our shower and everything, and we felt so clean, smelled so good. We take that for granted every day, but hey, a shower is very nice. So, and we had not showered the whole time we were there. So can you imagine? Jiminy Cricket. It was like a little over a week. Well, then we were all eating. It was very, very quiet, and my mother said, "Are you both okay?" And we nodded. We kept eating. She said, she asked me, did I want to go back? And I told her never. She said, I let you make your own decision if you wanted to meet him. I could not keep you from him, and that would not be right. But he showed me what kind of man he is. And, she never once said, I told you so, or you shouldn't go, which, that's good, but I don't think she even thought he would do us like that, so we were just so tired physically and emotionally. And we went to bed, and my mother went to do our laundry, and we laid down to nap. It felt so good to be home where I was safe. And then last year, his sisters, I should say, found me on Facebook, and I didn't really remember them, like their faces and stuff, but I responded to them, and they seemed happy to have found me. They were giddy and everything else, and I gave them my phone number so they could call me. And just one of the aunts called me, and she talked to me for a little while about how her life was going. She was sent to prison, so she was away for a long time. And I asked her where my dad was finally, and she started crying. And she's like, your dad died in 2010. And it got really quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop. It got really quiet. And then she said excuse me. She said that she had been in jail when he passed. And she did say that my dad tried to find me, but he couldn't find me. So I did kind of feel a little sad, but she ended up having to hang up because she got so upset and she couldn't talk. So she said it's still new to her because she's out free now and everything, and her brother isn't here, and she never got a chance to say her goodbye.